Okay guys, are you ready? Bermuda Brian, and we're going to talk about something a little bit different today. We're going to talk about your bushes, your trees, your shrubs, your ornamentals. Let's talk about how you're going to take care of them during the summer. So, you know, with your lawn, you don't want to push growth during the hottest part of the summer. Well, that's the same thing with your bushes, your shrubs, your trees. You don't want to put any type of fertilizer on those that's going to force it to grow during the hot parts of the summer. Now you can put an organic type of food on those and it's going to be fine, but if you're putting a synthetic type of fertilizer on those during the hot parts of the year, it's not going to do very well for them. They're going to have shallow roots, they're going to be needy of water, and they're going to push that top growth, and it's going to wear those bushes, shrubs, trees, whatever out. So what I want to talk to you about specifically today is disease, insect, mites. Now, if you have shrubs that are in an area that doesn't get a whole lot of good circulation of air, then there's a chance that you're going to get disease, fungus, things like that on those. You can get a powdery black mildew on it. There are several different types of mildew or mold that you can get growing on those. And when that happens, you'll get a mite, you'll get some other types of insects that'll attach to that. It'll make a sticky substance on the leaves, turns it either to a kind of a matte black, and by matte black, I mean it'll look like, if you can see that, that's matte black. It'll give that type of appearance to the leaf and cover the whole thing up, where you don't see a green type of shiny coat to that leaf. It looks unhealthy. If you take your fingers, you can rub it on there, and sometimes some debris will come off of it. It can even drop down onto your lawn and cover your lawn and spread from there. If you flip the leaf over, then you may see little white mites, like miniature rice looking things that are on the other side of the leaf. These can start to make the leaves fall off of your bushes and your trees, and they can make them very sick and ultimately kill them. Now what I do, and I'm going to take you and I'm going to show you some examples of this in my yard, and show you what I use, specifically at this time of year. Now I put out, and I don't think I've got it over here with me, I put out an organic fertilizer called Hawthorne on all of my evergreens that are acid loving. That means my azaleas, my gardenias, rhododendrons, Indian hawthorns, loropetalums. Of course, loropetalums don't need any type of fertilizing. But anyways, this is what I put out. I'm going to give it a good look there for you guys. It's by BioAdvance Insect Disease and Mite Control. Basically what you'll do, it's a kind of a milky, milk-like looking substance or chemical that you're going to pour. I do it with a 2-gallon sprayer that I've got right here. Battery operated, so it makes it a whole lot easier to pump sprayer. I mix it a gallon at a time. A gallon usually does my entire front yard. Then a gallon does my backyard. And so I mix up, I think it's 2.5 ounces per gallon. Hit the spray and I go around and I do everything. I do my loropetalums, my roses, my evergreens, my azaleas. Now especially on bushes that attract Japanese beetles, you'll want to put this out on. This will prevent Japanese beetles from being invited to that bush, that shrub, and it will also kill them at the same time. I spray it to keep, I get little beetles that almost mimic a lady beetle or ladybug on my daylilies. I put them back there on my azaleas. I'm going to show you something here too. This is a wax leaf ligustrum. I spray all this. So let's take a look here. A little chlorosis and a little mite action going on right there. Let's take a look at the back of it, and I see some rust spots on the back of it. Now, here's a good shot of one. Some chlorosis, and there's some aphids on there, I bet you. Look at the back of that. So, if you look back at one of my videos that I did on how to take care of azaleas, you'll see the type of shape that these were in. And that was coming off of a winter burn, and they were covered in aphids and mites. Now look at that green on there. Of course, we're in the growing season now, and I put that Hawthorne out there. But it takes excellent care of these. Now they're sprayed. It's going to kill the aphids, the mites, anything that are on those. At the same time, I'm feeding them, I'm pushing growth, but it's spring. It's a mild time of year when I'm doing that. Do it to my gardenias here. Again, to my daylilies. These are African lilies here. I'll spray those. I've got knockouts all down in this area here. I'll spray those. Of course, I'll spray my Crape myrtles because they love to go after those. Again, I've got some Gardenias here. If you look back at that other video that I did about my azaleas, you'll see the video on this, and this old guy looked pretty bad. He still looks pretty bad, but he has come back a long ways, and I will continue to take care of him and have him nursed back to health. Over here in this island, I put it on those daylilies. I sprayed on that Japanese maple, all of the loropetalums, and those evergreens. Now, go on, Hornet. Here is my problem issue over here, my problem area. All right, so once upon a time, these lelands were all the way down to the ground until we discovered a couple of copperheads underneath here. So I cut them up, but there was no airflow back in this area. So that means that I got this black mold, and I'm going to give you some examples here. Look right there, down in there, covering all of this. Some aphids. There's one moving right there, an aphid right there. Mites. These are covered in it. Now I just cut those back, these lelands back last weekend. This is a tea olive. I've got it on the tea olive here too. I'm trying to find you a good spot to see this. Down in there, you can tell where the air hasn't been flowing. These are wax leaf ligustrums. Gets all over these. Look, that is an unhealthy looking leaf compared to this new growth. Unhealthy, new growth. It's covering these and these. Now I come over here and I spray these. Something's gotten after these roses. If you look down in here, something's been chewing on those. So I've used a lot of different type of insect control, mite control, fungus control, and that one that I showed you there does a great job eliminating a lot of the mites, aphids, Japanese beetles. Now another one that I will use when it comes to Japanese beetles, which I think is the best product out there for Japanese beetles, and it'll take care of a host of other insects, is Sevin. That one there, I have actually seen me spray this and the Japanese beetles fall directly off of the roses, which is the biggest problem I have, is Japanese beetles getting on the roses. Now out back here, when I did that other video, I showed you guys my azaleas out here, but let's take a walk around here. I forget what these bushes are called, starts with an E. But these at my house are really prone to mites, and you will actually see the mites when they get on there. And if you catch an area like this right here, and all the leaves have dropped off, then that means you've got mites in there and that you need to get them sprayed as soon as possible, because mites will take over. This is from last summer. This opening in this bush, that's where mites took over right there, and I got to it a little bit too late. So my neighbor's out here pressure washing, so excuse me there. But down here, this is a wooded area, poor circulation of air from that side there. From this side here, I get a lot of mildew back here in this backyard. But if you take a look at these azaleas here, if you go back and look at my other videos, some of these were in poor condition because they had winter mites on them, winter burn. But look at that, how beautiful green that is. Got an oak leaf hydrangea right there that the Japanese beetles like to get after, so I got it sprayed. And I went ahead and I coated this area out here, my monkey grass, and I got a couple of azaleas out there to keep the mites and bugs off of it. Same thing over there. I got a carpet rose bush, azaleas along through there, some lemon lime, ligustrums. So what you want to do at this time of year, again, get out, get it fertilized, decide if you're going to use a synthetic or an organic. If you want to go organic, then you can spoon feed that to your bushes once a month, organic. Same way with lawns. If you want to put out Milorganite, it's not going to tear your lawn up. It's not going to burn your lawn off. But if you decide that you're going to go out there and put a synthetic out, you got to be careful with the heat of the summer. You could, first of all, if you don't water it in, you're going to burn the bushes, and you're going to push a lot of top growth, and you're not going to get the deep root growth that you need to make it survive those long drought conditions of the summer. Insecticides, get those out now. Start preventative treating your bushes. Don't wait until you see that your bushes are being attacked and being ate up. Get them treated now, and then you're going to continue to do your preventative treatments. But if it does happen and you find yourself in a situation where you have an infestation of Japanese beetles, of mites, of whatever it may be, get out there, treat it now, treat it 7 days later, skip a couple weeks, and then treat it again. And that should take care of the issue, should. Then you have to start taking a look at, why am I having these problems? For me, in this backyard, this tree canopy and these woods are the reason why I have an issue back here with poor circulation of air and mildew. Mildew, the bugs attract to it, stick to it, cause all sorts of problems. So I know if I do a preventative treatment, then I'm better off. So I know I'm rambling. I just wanted to get that information out to you guys. So remember those products. I will start up with the Sevin. Let's see, in another 2 weeks, I'll put a round of that Sevin spray out, because the Japanese beetles will start floating around and going crazy. But in the meantime, for my azaleas and other bushes, I hit them up with that. And then out in the backyard, one last thing and I'll let you go here. I will spray cutter backyard on the grass out back, because being next to the woods in a wet area, I have a problem with mosquitoes down in the turf. So I spray that out, take care of it that way. If I know we're gonna have a get together at the house, I'll spray it again a couple days before that to eliminate any problems when you have the guests over. That's it. If you have any questions, comments, if you think I'm doing something wrong, if you think I'm doing something great, hit the thumbs up. But this Bermuda Brian out.